Hello, and welcome to a Rubrik Solutions walkthrough. Today, we're taking a look at one of Rubrik's exciting new recovery options, SQL Server Live Mount. Now, before we walk through the actual steps of how to perform a live mount, let's first take a step back and describe what live mount is and how it works. Unlike traditional restores, live mount doesn't require us to transfer large amounts of data back to our production storage. In fact, it doesn't require our production storage at all. Instead, it uses the storage and resources located on the Rubrik cluster. Basically, Rubrik takes any restore point and presents the MDF and LDF files located on our Rubrik cluster to any SQL server via an SMB share. It then creates a new database, mapping the underlying file structure to the Rubrik cluster. The best part about all of this, it's completely automated. All you have to do is pick a restore point, select a SQL server, input a database name, and Rubrik does the rest. Being able to iterate through restore points and live mount different backups provides us with a near zero RTO, and this opens up the doors for a lot of use cases. Imagine the ability to spin up development and test copies of our database nearly instantaneous. Or utilize live mount to perform health checks on our databases without affecting our production workloads. Or perhaps you might want to live mount a database to perform item level recovery, using the network only to copy over those records or tables that you need. Hey, that's exactly what we're going to do today. So with that, let's go see this in action. So here we are within our SQL Server Management Studio, and you can see that I have one database named AdventureWorks 2012. I've already gone ahead and assigned this SQL Server to a Rubrik SLA. So all that Rubrik goodness such as backups, replication, and archival have been running as per my configured policy. Since we're looking to perform granular record level recovery with our live mount demo, let's go ahead and delete some of the data out of this person.email address table. We could do that with our simple delete query here. As you can see, 19,972 rows of precious email data has now been purged. Now it's time to head into Rubrik to begin the restore process. All right, here we are on the main dashboard page of the Rubrik UI. Now the first thing we need to do in order to perform our live mount is find our SQL Server database. To do this, we go to Servers and Apps along the left-hand side navigation menu, and then select SQL Server DBs. As you can see, this particular cluster is processing backups for a lot of SQL databases. Now, you could use the top navigation to filter the list based on instance names or database names, failover clusters, or availability groups. Or you can simply use the predictive smart search box to zero in on what you're looking for. Let's do that. There, I've filtered the list to what I need with only 2 characters. That's my SQL Server's hostname. I'll select that. Then I'll select my instance name. And there's my AdventureWorks 2012 database. So let's select that. This brings us to the Database Overview dashboard. Here we can see a lot of things as it relates to Rubrik and our database. Information as to what SLA it belongs to, the database's recovery model, along with some dates around its oldest and most recent backups sit under the Overview card on the left. However, it's the Recovery Points card that we're really interested in. Here, we can see a monthly calendar view. Each day that contains one or more backups indicated by a green dot. Let's select a day prior to when we perform the deletion. Our calendar view has now switched to a daily time view. Here we can see all of the backups which have been taken on the selected date. Here we only have one backup taken at 10:59 a.m. Now let's use that one. It's time now to perform our live mount. From the ellipsis menu beside the recovery point, select Mount. We now need to input a few pieces of information. First, we need to tell the system what SQL Server we want to restore to. Again, I'll use the search functionality to find my SQL Server. Select it, then click Next. I'll select my instance, and then we need to give our database a new name. Once you've done that, simply click Mount. As we can see in the upper right-hand corner, we got a notification stating that the mount process has begun. To track its status, we can simply scroll down to our activity log and watch as the recovery takes place. We can now see that our recovery is completed. If you want to get a few more details, you can click this to open up the event. And we can see that we've restored our database at AdventureWorks 2012_Live Mount in 11 seconds. With that, let's flip back over to the SQL Server Management Studio and see what we have there. Okay, here we are back in our Management Studio. And the first thing I'm going to do is refresh our databases node to see if the database will show up. And there it is, our AdventureWorks 2012 Live Mount. So now it's time to get set to copy all of those records back from that person.email address table. The first thing we need to do is we need to turn on identity insert on our production table, as it does have some constraints and restrictions which would not allow us to insert an identity column. Next, let's run our insert query. Now this query simply just inserts all of the records from the person.email address table within the AdventureWorks Live Mount back into our production table. As you can see, 19,972 rows back in place. Now let's go ahead and turn our identity insert off. Perfect. Now, if we run our select query on our production table, there's all our precious email data back in place. Now I want to note that we did this without having to provision production storage or without having to restore a complete database or copy the whole database across the network. We simply live mounted the database directly from the Rubrik hardware and copied the records we needed. Now that our restore is complete, there's no need for us to keep this live mount around. So let's go back into the Rubrik UI and unmount it. So here we are back on the Rubrik dashboard. In order to unmount our live mount, we need to go to Live Mounts and SQL Server DBs. This will show us a list of every single database that's currently live mounted within the Rubrik cluster. And there's ours, AdventureWorks 2012. To unmount it, simply click the ellipsis icon next to it and select Unmount. Now there is an option here to force unmount, and this is used to instruct Rubrik to continue on with the unmount process in the event that the host may be unreachable or there's some sort of communication issues with it. We should be okay to simply do an unmount. All right, back in SQL Server Management Studio, we'll do one final refresh on our database node, and we see that our live mount is completely gone. So there we go, a successful live mount of our database within 11 seconds. A few SQL queries later, and we've performed an item-level recovery of just the records we needed to restore. To learn more about Rubrik's Live Mount and other great features around protecting SQL Server, I'd recommend downloading the Protecting Microsoft SQL Server with Rubrik white paper. For more of a deep dive and to see an actual SQL Server Live Mount performed in the public cloud, definitely check out Rubrik's videos from the Cloud Field Day lineup. Thanks for watching.